the cat dragged in.
The wind blew in.
Yeah. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. You know, today is we have 5 weeks in this particular month now. And Dean comes in every second week of every month to do her official hashtag Lady in Red, hashtag One Lucky Gal stint here on the Danny Vegas live show. But she brought in a special guest today. She goes, I'm coming in. And that means I have to share the $1 million.
Well, I was late, so you can only give me a quarter of it.
Yeah, you're gonna get you get half of $375, right, or $700. I don't know. I barely got out of high school. I just know the check clears every week. So anyway, $1 million a show right here on the Danny Vegas live show. Well, anyway, what happened in your absence is we talked a little bit about the bill that's up, which according to our expert government watchdog, Jerry Sugarman, who happens to be right over here, that bill is pretty much dead. Doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere, because I think our politician friends are very good at, why fight that battle when I don't have to? And I think that's going to raise a big stink. It's all over social media how Uber's leaving the state if they make you wait 15 minutes. So, because the taxi authority is very powerful here in Las Vegas. And they don't like those Lyft and Uber cats at all.
Yeah, it's taking money out of their pockets.
Yeah, you know what? The buggy whip people didn't like the car makers either.
Right.
But guess what? We don't have buggy whip factories anymore.
There's enough to go around. We have enough tourism. We have enough need for it. And I know I've called for a cab before when I've lived on the outskirts of town. Well, we won't come out there.
That's right.
So Uber or Lyft, they'll come out there.
And
it's easy.
I love it. Man, I just go on my phone, and I could set up a time, pick me up at 2:30, and you know what? Then beep, I look and it's like, oh, it's 6 minutes away. This cat's name is this, and this is the car he's driving. It is the coolest thing since sliced bread. I love it, and I think it's a great way for the average person to make some extra money, be an entrepreneur. The better ones get better ratings, get better service. You get some magazines, some water in there. Hey, I love entrepreneurism. This is a way where people can literally you know what? Hey, I'm short on my cell bill, $300. I'm gonna go Lyft for a day or two.
I mean, and the Uber experience in itself is a funny experience, depending on the driver you get. One of my guests recently had to call Uber, and he's about 20 minutes from where he works.
Right.
And bless this woman's heart, she must have been 80 years old.
80.
The trip took like an hour and 15 minutes, and by the time they got to his work, he knew her whole life story. He tipped her $100 because he felt so badly for her. She's 80. She shouldn't be an Uber driver. She should be retired. He's like, I just felt like, I said the tips included. He's like, I know, but I just felt like I should do more for her kids.
I think Uber driving would be fun, but my car's too old.
I don't think it matters, does it?
Oh, yeah. You got to have a certain age car because they don't want people driving around in 2002 Audis with a crushed-in fender.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it runs and it's clean.
Well, it's not clean either.
Oh.
But that's okay. But I understand. And so anyway, this bill, I guess, is you got to hear first, folks. That bill 485 doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere because it's raising a stink. And you know how I mean, there's some parts of that bill I kind of like. Hey, we got to get insurance, and there's some drug testing involved. Boy, that's a little scary. I don't know how they're going to do that. But there's just a little bit of some structure of insurance, and the company has to have an overall insurance policy. Some of that stuff I'm kind of with.
That makes sense. Background checks, I think, are necessary.
Right.
Well, look at
background checks. They do that already.
Yeah, they have to have those. You have to have insurance. You have to make sure that you're safe.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, because there are sadly things that are happening. The woman, I don't know if it was Uber or Lyft, so I'm not going to which one, but she was passed out and she lost her cell phone, called the company, they pulled it up on the camera and found out that the driver actually victimized her. She was drunk and passed out. So now he's arrested for rape. She lost her phone, didn't even realize she was raped, and he was a driver.
Yeah,
you have to have some structure, but...
Yeah, you got to have some structure. So what do we learn? Don't pass out. Ladies, just don't put yourself in a position where...
We have too much government.
Anyway, okay. But anyway, that was the big thing we were talking about. But I want to talk about, we have 2 super guests coming up in segment 3. And then in segment 4, the Business Titan series, which is it's just blowing up all over town. Last week, we had George Harris from Alien Tequila, and he got mad at me because he was in segment 4, and he thought he was segment 2, so we had to bring him on segment 3. And then he had such a good time, I couldn't get him out of here. And then we ended up talking about dating. Two 50-year-old guys have been with the same gal for like eon. We're talking about dating.
I'm sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah. Well,
I don't even know what to say.
I don't know. I didn't know what to say either. But anyway, because it seems like our hashtag Nicole Taylor Sharp seems to have the corner on the dating excitement.
Dating. I mean, I'm with my husband 30 years. Yeah. I always tease him that if I ever had to date again, I just would not be a very nice person.
I don't think I
just have a lot of fun.
I don't know. I don't know how I would pull that off. Like I said, I think the big controversy was I told the men to get off the dating websites. I just get off of them. Just if you're my age at this point in your life, if you can't pick up a phone and call a woman out for supper because you've lived without dating sites, most of your life you've lived without a dating site. Get off those things and up your game a little bit and call up and say, hey, would you entertain the idea of going to dinner with me? It's that simple.
It's that simple. I don't think, personally, there's a certain age where you're on a dating... I get that they have the older dating sites for the more mature, professional, successful people. Maybe. But the Tinder and that... If you're over 50 and you're on Tinder...
Or plenty of fish.
Get a life.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I'm sorry. Get a life. I just don't know.
Yeah, but every guy got to have an angle, I guess. But anyway, we talked about that, and that was a lot of fun. But this business titan, first of all, segment 3, we have Linda Taché coming, and that was something that you called up and said, hey, she wants to come back for this year because she was on last year. Yeah. And, grant a gift for autism is her big deal, and it's a great story, and we're going to kind of relive that. We're going to talk about the big event that's coming up and the big fundraising. It's going to be great. She's a hero in this community, and we are going to give her some props. And then, of course, on the business type, we got Jerry Sugarman here. This guy is the top insurance guy in the state, man. I mean, he knows everything. He's been doing talks and bring on as speakers for years and years and years and years. And we're going to get into a little insurance, and he promised me we're going to talk about all kinds of insurance because that's the name of his company, all kinds of insurance, but he's going to give us enough time. We're going to talk about a little health care.
It's so funny is I'm right now looking and researching policies. When I was employed by a hotel, I had life insurance benefits and they were really great, death benefits, all of that. Well, now I'm independent.
Right.
My husband has fantastic benefits, health, all that.
Well, aren't you included?
I am, but I don't get the same, like the death. Like if I croak, he's not getting paid.
Oh, really?
He's getting paid a little bit.
Oh, that would piss my wife off if I croaked and she didn't get paid.
Man. Now, if he croaks, I'm getting paid.
Hey.
I'm covered.
Okay.
So I'm kind of having that, wait a minute, I need to research this stuff and not really understanding it. And I play ignorance because I never thought.
Well, we got a guy here you can meet. I got a guy you can meet here, and let me tell you something. I've known Jeremy probably since Danny Vegas started, which is back in 2010, and like I said, he has become over those years the top guy in the state, and I send people to him all the time. He's first of mind. If anybody says insurance, I just say, hey, all kinds of insurance, Jerry Sugarman. He's on the show. It's taken me a long time to get him here. Good. He's here, segment 4. Yeah, but we're going to talk a little bit about this healthcare stuff. We're not going to spend too much time on it because Lord knows we can do a whole show on that because it's just so political now. I was talking to him before the show, and man, you know what he described? That, hey, ain't nothing anybody can do.
I know.
Everybody's just effed on this deal, and that's all the way. The poor people are effed, the rich people are effed, everybody's bad. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but we're going to talk a little bit about that. Really get some inside information. Not the political rhetoric that we hear from either side, but the real juice. That's going to be good. So stick around for that segment 4 so if you can watch it live, or, you can always watch it on the social media networks that we push everything out. And I'm so glad you're here.
I'm going to connect it. You'll have to show me how to connect it. I'll put it on my live Facebook, and then you guys can watch it.
Yes, we're going to do that during the break. We're going to get everybody to live stream on their Facebook pages so that, so everybody in their feeds can see it. It's going to be great. I'm so glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here. It's been crazy busy. So it's, we working with Luxury Magazine again, and we've got, Linda Taché, we'll talk about it, and the next segment, working with that. And Las Vegas Woman, we're doing their cover shoot tomorrow, next Friday.
Wow.
It's just crazy. So being here is like fun.
Wow, I can't wait. That cover from last Las Vegas Woman's magazine, that's going to be a tough one to beat. Are you ready?
Of course.
All right. Okay. Well, anyway, Danny Vegas Live, Danny Vegas Time, segment 3 coming up with Linda Taché right after this.